This is the sermon for February 19th, 2023, and I want to turn the idea of being blessed upside down on its head because we have a conventional view of it, and then there's the Jesus view of being blessed. And I have a wonderful story to share at the end that comes from Michael Marsh, and it's his concept of this sermon that I have taken and run with. So I'm going to first read from Matthew 5, 1 through 12 from the Message. And it's long, but it's worth hearing. Don't think about the conventional way of being blessed. Think about an entirely new understanding. When Jesus saw his ministry drawing huge crowds, he climbed a hillside. Those who were apprenticed to him, the committed, climbed with him. Arriving at a quiet place, he sat down and taught his climbing companions. This is what he said. You're blessed when you're at the end of your rope. With less of you, there is more of God and God's rule. You're blessed when you feel you've lost what is most dear to you. Only then can you be embraced by the one most dear to you. You're blessed when you're content with just who you are, no more, no less. That's the moment you find yourselves proud owners of everything that can't be bought. You're blessed when you've worked up a good appetite for God. He's food and drink in the best meal you'll ever eat. You're blessed when you care. At the moment of being full of care, careful, you'll find yourselves cared for. You're blessed when you get your inside world, your mind and your heart, put right. Then you can see God in the outside world. You're blessed when you can show people how to cooperate instead of compete or fight. That's when you discover who you really are and your place in God's family. You're blessed when your commitment to God provokes persecution. The persecution drives you even deeper into God's commonwealth, God's kingdom. Not only that, count yourselves blessed every time people put you down or throw you out or speak lies about you to discredit me, Jesus said. What it means is that the truth is too close for comfort and they are uncomfortable. You can be glad when that happens. Give a cheer even. For though they don't like it, I do, Jesus says. And all heaven applauds. And know that you are in good company. My prophets and witnesses have always gotten into this kind of trouble. Well, I have this cartoon because we think of blessed in a conventional way. I think that central heat is a miracle, nothing short of a miracle. I think in the wintertime, it means all the difference for us. How about driving in a garage, parking your car in a garage when the snow is blowing or there's an ice storm? Isn't that remarkable? That's how we think of blessed. Jesus has an entirely different view of being blessed. And that's what I want to talk about today. How many of you, when you are asked to name something that points to or indicates your blessedness, named one of the Beatitudes? When you've lost everything, when you're at the end of your rope, when you're utterly content with who you are, no more, no less, when you're full of care, meaning careful, like caring for others. How often do you think of one of these Beatitudes when you think, oh, I'm so blessed, or she's so blessed? We don't. We think of the opposite when we read these Beatitudes. So most of us think that being blessed is favoritism by God. It's when we have abundance, when we have health, when we have one of many, many blessings. We even think we did things right as opposed to someone who did them wrong, or times when we did things wrong. Then we pay for it and we think not blessed. And Jesus is turning all of that upside down. What if that's not all it means to be blessed? What if blessedness is broader and bigger than when we have benefits of being privileged in our culture? What if we don't acquire or get blessedness? What if it's a given? What if it's a given for every human on earth, no matter what? What if being blessed is a benefit of being created by God as a human with dignity? Wouldn't that be upside down? Yeah. What if it's not unique or particular to certain individuals? What if it's not just Americans who are blessed? What if somebody in the two-thirds world doesn't have enough food, is blessed? What would that look like? What if there are no qualifications or prerequisites to be blessed? What if it's inclusive of all, even the people you don't like? Imagine that you say, I've been counting my blessings and I'm really blessed. Really? Every single person, regardless of who they are, is blessed. A totally different notion of it. That's what I want to introduce to you today. You're not that special. We're actually all blessed. What would you think? How would you feel? It would mess with your expectations and your understanding of being blessed. Would you celebrate that all are blessed, even the people you don't like? Or would you feel that I might have taken something from you? Yeah, we think I'm unique or I'm important because I'm blessed. No. God hasn't done something for just me or just my family or just my community. No, everyone is blessed. It's not something you can earn or acquire or even receive. We all receive it by being human. We live in grace. This is a radical notion that Jesus taught. Being blessed is given by our Creator at creation. So, look at the Beatitudes. The only distinction Jesus draws is between those who know they're blessed and those who have not yet recognized their blessedness. It's a question of recognizing that we're blessed, no matter what. It's an expression of one who recognizes being blessed. We live differently when we know that we are already blessed, that we don't have to do anything or have any special circumstances in our lives. We live in a certain way. We trust that we're blessed, even when we're at the end of our rope. How are the Beatitudes finding expression in our lives? I'm asking you just to see that you're already blessed no matter what. And then you live differently. And if you're not seeing the Beatitudes in your life, then why not? What's getting in the way? We think so often in the U.S. about our special privileges and our wealth, our abundance when we think of being blessed. What if we're blessed with nothing? We've all been blessed. I know that when I'm blessed, I'm more fully myself. When I recognize that I'm blessed no matter what, I'm more fully myself. And yet, I want to believe that I'm blessed because of the goodness that's present in my life. When we're challenged by Jesus, we think of a larger life. We don't have to gain someone's approval. We know that we're blessed because of who we are in God. It's enough to be myself and to express that blessedness in the truest, most authentic way that we can in any given moment. So I want to close with this story. A colleague had this lesson. So they were traveling in a small group through Egypt. And there were two men and a boy, and they were setting up a bread shop, kind of a makeshift bread shop. And there were no foreigners on that street except this horse-drawn carriage that passed through. And one of my colleagues this is what he says, one of my colleagues took a picture of the boy, and then the boy started running after the horse-drawn carriage. And he thought, uh-oh, I've done something wrong, and there's going to be trouble because of that. And this boy was chasing after, and he thinks, uh-oh, what did I do? The boy ran and caught up and handed the man who had taken a picture a hot pita. And he ate it, and he said it was the best pita he'd ever had in his whole life. It was a makeshift shop. It wasn't clean. How were they blessed? How were they special in any way? And yet, this boy, about 12 years old, ran after, gave him a pita, not for any benefit, but simply because I think the boy knew he was blessed and he could give out of that blessedness. What a concept. What if we all ran after others and gave them a blessing from our lives, even if we didn't have much? What if we ran after them? What if we knew that we were blessed and could give that freely? Blessed are those who share their pita because they are the bread of life. What would it be like if we shared with others, not out of abundance, but especially when we're hurting, especially when we know we're at the end of our rope? Think about Matthew 5. Look at it during the week and see how trouble is absolutely evident in all of these. Blessed when you're persecuted. Blessed when you're treated lousy. Blessed when you don't have anything. Blessed when you're struggling. How are you blessed? Jesus taught us we're blessed because we're loved. And then we can love others. Amen.